This is Sexy Funny Raw, where we chat all about the world of sex, from dating and relationships all the way to the adult industry itself. I'm Silvia Saige, and this is my Pornspective, answering all the questions you weren't even brave enough to ask Google. Get ready, because Sexy Funny Raw starts now. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Sexy Funny Raw. I am your host, Silvia Saige. Joined in studio with me is my co-host, Dr. Eddie, giving us the public health perspective.
You can give me the public health
All
perspective.
right, I'll give you what I got, but it's not a lot. All right, guys, and I'm actually super sad because this is the last episode that I get to have with our new guests who have just been a complete and total delight this whole month. Adult actors, superstars, Dorian and CASSIE Del Isla. Welcome back. And this time, you guys, we are going to talk. So you think you want to be a porn star? Because as we were kind of getting into on last week's episode, there is just so much that people don't realize about the industry, and that it isn't all positives and it isn't all just tons of people having free sex and making money. There are some downfalls to it.
Of course.
Right? Tell us how you both got into the industry. CASSIE, you can start with you.
So
Same story?
it's exactly the same story
okay.
because we start together.
Oh, perfect.
So a friend of Dorian is a porn director. He actually lives in Vegas today, but back in the day, he was living in Barcelona. So he was looking for a fresh face
Yeah.
to make a scene, and then he proposed it to us, and we agreed to do it, and we never left.
Yeah. And that was how many years you said?
7 years and a half.
Yeah. Love it.
God, I'm not getting younger.
But aging like a fine
Yes.
That's
wine.
okay. That's okay.
So you guys were already married then
Yeah.
Yes.
when you got into
Absolutely.
the porn industry. That's very interesting because
Yeah.
not a lot of people come in as a couple.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Yeah, because you need to be really free-minded.
Well, usually I feel like even if the couple is married, it's like the wife is the one or the husband is the one, but
That's
it's never like a dual performing.
You got it. So
Yeah.
it's not. It's a fake free-minded couple. You know, the girl have the power or the guy have
Right.
the power. One of the boss don't want to be there. There
Yeah.
is and we can identify this kind of couple everywhere in the world.
Right.
Because
Of
we
course.
know them like directly.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
I will know. She will know if she can fuck your husband or no.
Just by meeting you?
Just by looking.
Oh, I know.
Just by looking
The
at you.
attitude, the
everything.
way the couple
If
acts
it's a
together.
good idea, no.
Yeah.
And sometimes
I
you tell
feel
me
it.
no, it's not a good idea. No, don't do
Most
that.
of the
don't
time.
touch that girl.
Yeah, don't touch that girl.
Or it's just going to be bad from the opposite.
You're gonna have trouble.
yeah, but yeah. So yeah.
Now,
so fake
what
couple.
did either one of you do before the industry? I know you met at a strip club, but is that like, so you were both kind of already working in the industry, but did you have like what I like to call
Real
big
job?
kid jobs? Yeah.
So I was a plane mechanician.
A what? Say that again. Did I miss it?
D'avion?
Yes.
Wow.
What is that?
Yeah, I
I'm-
was a plane mechanician.
Mechanic.
Oh, oh, wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And then you were like, nah, fuck it. I'm going to
And
just go.
then I decided to go back to school and to have
university?
to the university and have a different degree.
Okay.
So
you-
I quit my job and went back to school. I had my degree, and
She
then
was
I
broke.
became a poster.
But see, that's very interesting because you have the real world knowledge. You went to
Oh, yeah.
college, you got a degree, you tried working in that field
Absolutely.
of study.
Yes.
I think a lot of people assume that because we work in this industry that we must not be educated, that we must not have had any other options in life. When
We're wrong.
Right. Exactly. You had plenty of other options.
Absolutely, I had, and I'm very grateful actually that I was able to have this normal life. I will call it like that, because honestly, it teach me how to live with very few amount of money. Like I remember when I decided to quit my job in the aeronautics, and I went back to school. So because I had no job, I was absolutely broke, and I
Yeah.
still had to pay my school, and I still have to pay my rent. So I went to McDonald's. I worked there for 5 years.
Wow.
Yes. And
club is better.
I remember I had €600 a month
Yeah.
to live.
Wow.
So it's really not a lot, but I was still managing it. And honestly, now that I am more
Financially independent.
yes, thank you so much.
That's a big Instagram
I'm
stuff.
very grateful to have that life because I still remember how it is. I remember how what it
Agreed.
is to eat pasta every month
Yep.
because I'm broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I say all the time, I think it kind of like saved me, but I also know that it's not for everyone. And I think a lot of people don't realize that you mentioned it, that we are actually humans, that we are real people. So I think a lot of times the outside world just sees us as these mythical creatures that,
Sex
are
machines.
objects.
No
Right.
family, no mother.
Right. And so the backlash that comes from working an adult
Oh, dear
is
God.
something that I think that not a lot of people can handle. And, we do have, a lot of suicides that happen in our industry. And I think a lot of the drug usage and alcohol abuse comes from trying to deal with all the negative stereotypes in the outside world.
Absolutely.
I know that's where any and all of my depression comes from.
You also navigate, Sylvia, a really interesting place because you're also a professional comedian.
Right.
That like tours around and does comedy in places, but you also discuss the industry
Yes.
in your sets. And
Yeah.
so the response that you've told me that you get
Yeah.
sometimes, depending on where you're performing,
Yeah.
is really interesting since we're talking about stigma, right? Because that stigma stretches across. It doesn't even matter. It stays with you forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think people and like media, I would say media, but like media don't want to highlight people like you, also like you. Well, you
It's
are
not
you
interesting
are a
for them.
comedian.
Right.
You do stand up, right?
Right.
They want gossip.
You do stand up. She was a plane mechanic. I was in the special forces in France. So we got some like classical normal
you don't-
life, but they don't want to highlight us.
You
They want
don't
to
Right.
highlight a poor girl raped by his grandpa
dear God.
in a Mormon community.
Right.
They don't want us. They want to do it dirty.
Right.
We're
True.
not dirty.
Right.
That's what ends up happening when we only view sex work or adult films as those stories. They're a part of it where the
Right.
people were unfortunately trafficked in the past or
Yeah.
could potentially still be. People want to, it seems like a lot of the media wants to focus on these areas
Right.
and not take in all of the entrepreneurs. And we've had this discussion before, but all of the adult film stars I know are in the MILF category, but they're also experienced, independent,
Yeah.
quite wealthy entrepreneurs and very strong, powerful women and some men. And so those things those stories don't match up
Right.
when we're talking about you as an entrepreneur or as a professional comedian, and you happen to do this, and it was a choice that you made,
Yeah.
not because you were trafficked into it or forced
Right.
into it. And
Right.
that goes along with your story as well, Cassie.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think unfortunately that this kind of situation that we have, the problem we have in the industry also, and I can say that now because after 7 years I could look enough, like I was witnessed by a lot of stuff. It's the problem in our industry is that we don't clean it.
Yeah.
So actually the people that put us down, they're still here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The one that give
I agree
drug
with that.
or alcohol to the girl,
They're still here.
they're still here.
Yeah.
And the problem is that when you speak up, when you have the nerve to speak up,
Right.
they shut you down.
They shut you down.
So no one is actually willing to clean the industry, but everyone is complaining about it. And the problem is that if we don't clean in front of a door first, the problem is that the society won't be ready to see us change because we won't
Yeah.
be able to change.
Sure.
I agree with that so much. So, I mean, my agent, who, I mean, for anything else, was a pimp to me in the beginning. Like, he still has an agency. He still has girls. He's been to prison for what he has done to talent, and he still manages talent.
Just like that,
It's
I know who he
mind
was.
blowing.
You don't have any license to do that.
I don't even know if he works on a license anymore or
Oh,
not.
maybe
but I mean,
maybe someone have a license for him, and he only be
Right.
a part of the company.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like they do in France. They do not for porn, but for everything. You know,
Yeah.
I can't own a bar, for example, because I'm a criminal, but. She will own the bar.
Right.
We're
Right.
going jail
So,
for you.
yeah. Or my
Yeah.
mother will
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the nightclub owner in France are not nightclub owner on the paper.
Right.
course.
They,
Right.
they have no job.
No, but I honestly, I 100% agree with you. I don't know how we do it because at this point, it's kind of like, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like our government. It's so ingrained. No, it really is.
It is.
It's so ingrained in the culture that it's like, how do we get that out of there? How do we break away from like the lobbyist of porn? Do you know what I'm saying? Because it is those big names who are putting together a lot of the strings in pornography, and they still have such a big draw, and it's so
yeah.
sad.
Yeah, but I remember a young girl, 19 years old.
Oh yeah.
Don't say their name.
No, we're not saying her name, but 19 years old. She was fresh in the industry.
Yeah, Bob.
Really smart. A girl really smart.
Really smart.
And she told me we had the same conversation around a beer, and she told me.
No, it wasn't around the beer.
No, because she was 19. She drank a Coca-Cola, I think. So anyway, she told me, they will have problem. It will the end will not be happy for this kind of guy, because every girl have a big brother, a father, a boyfriend, a husband who could be violent, and one day.
Yeah, but how many girls will fall before one of these brother or father or whatever man it is?
Right.
And
But
how do you
the-
want to be an independent woman if I have all the time to hide behind a man?
Yeah.
I need some time to
all
face my
independent
old
women
demon.
need a man, because
Of course,
all men
I
need
agree
a girl.
with you. I agree with you. I need a man, of course.
I
But
can't be a
the problem
maid
is
if I
that
don't have a
all
woman.
those girls in the industry don't all have a husband. Not
True.
all of them have a dad
Yeah.
or
The-
a brother. And who's going to defend them?
The point this smart young girl was telling to me is, one day a boyfriend will be really pissed off by the agent
Yeah,
of
one
his
day there will be
girlfriend,
justice.
and maybe, and I hope it will not happen, but maybe he will shot him.
No,
It's
let's not
happen-
go that far.
That's the
Only in
conversation I got.
America.
No. In Europe, it's with a knife.
Oh, yeah, it's totally different.
So, but
Yeah.
the end is the same.
I don't
so
know.
it will finish by a drama, because when you abuse about people, the friends or the family will take a revenge one day.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm afraid.
yeah.
But
well,
that's
then
just
don't be a piece of shit, and you'll be
Yeah.
fine. You
Exactly,
know,
yes.
like
Don't-
that's my whole.
exactly.
Just
thing.
have a
Yeah.
proper behavior with the girl. Just be honest when you say something to a girl. Don't try to put her down. Don't lie to her about telling her that she's a grandma or whatever you want to
Right.
tell her. Like it happened to me. Like one of
You don't come to the
person
secret
who
parties,
took
or-
care of me told me that I should be happy to work because I'm 32 years old. I'm like, dude, you talk to me like I was a grandma.
All right.
I mean, let's face reality 2 seconds. Being 32 is not a fatality.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just a
Yeah.
woman, normal,
Yes. Yes.
not too old, not too young.
No, of course not.
I'm just normal.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they don't like women, because
They have an opinion.
Well, that guy liked
got
little
it.
girls way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of the, like some of the bad stuff that
Yeah.
can go on, right? What are some of the good things that keep you in the industry?
Oh, that's the point, because I was thinking about it, because this industry for me, it's like a dream, and I met a lot of nice people,
Of course.
a lot of honest people.
True.
I'm a guy who can be a bit,
French?
yeah, absolutely French. And
Favor.
if everyone in this industry was a bunch of assholes, I would fight everybody. So
course.
if I'm here, if I still want to be a performer, it's because I met a lot of good people. I met some friends. I met some super girls. Some smart girls.
Of course.
Yeah, even if they act like stupid American girls. No, they're not.
Yeah.
No, they're not. It's really, some girls are really surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So I stay here because there are a bunch of really good people.
I
Absolutely.
agree. I feel like coming into the industry made me realize that there are people who are not as judgmental and open. And I don't know about you guys, but I learned so much about my sexuality in porn.
Same.
I thought I was slutty. When I got in, I was like, I'm a slut. This will be great for me.
Great.
I wasn't a slut. I was so naive and so like blindsided by so many things. Like even seeing the checklist for the first time, I was like, I don't know what half of this shit means, you know? So I
Okay.
yeah, I had to like learn by experience, and I always said in porn like, oh, I'll try anything once, and then I learned a lot of things that I
mean, at the end of-
do like.
At the end of the day, porn is like every other job. Like whatever you do, you will learn something about your job.
Yeah.
You will learn something about yourself.
Yeah.
You will find some terrible people, and you will find some very lovely people.
Yeah.
That will actually make you love your job.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, I hated working in McDonald's. I was smelling French fries all the time, stinking and all. But after a few time, I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool. I make new friends.
Yeah.
And I know now how to change your work very fast. I know how to go to the cashier machine and then just go back in the lobby and do the cleaning. Like it taught me a lot of stuff. Like every job has a good part and a bad part. And porn industry, it's exactly the same. It's not very different from any other job.
And
actually.
there is a point. We all do that because we love sex. So we got a passion
But who
in
doesn't
common.
love sex? I think there's like
but
2%
we
of the
like-
world.
Do you like money?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We all got the chance to walk into the sex industry. So we are all happy to be
Very grateful.
on set.
Sure.
To really
Yeah.
grateful.
Very grateful.
And we will be honest. We don't work a lot.
Right. I mean, I work several times a week shooting.
Yeah.
But even that isn't having a 5-day-a-week job. I don't go in for 8 hours.
Sometimes
You
I
know?
go to shoot at noon. I'm home
By
at
3.
2
Yeah.
p.m.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. It's like,
So yeah.
you
One
know,
time it happened to me too. Yeah.
or a lot of times working is just me masturbating
we
from my bedroom, you know? So, like, that's, yeah.
Well, we can
No,
have.
we have a great job.
Yeah.
We don't work a lot.
We
I
work.
I don't say it's not a job. It's a
Yeah.
real one.
Of course.
But don't take too much time. We are well paid. And we do what we love to do. It's like a sportsman, like a guy, a football player. We can be paid to play football.
Yeah.
Soccer.
Oh, soccer. Yes, yes.
But it's a
Oh,
football.
It's work
Football
with
here,
football.
yeah.
All right. Like, I won't
So-
make the debate, but
No, I could not agree with you more. I truly think a lot of people don't realize how much of a job that this is, but it is an easy job. It is a fun job. People always, when I travel, you know, they always ask like, oh, are you here for work or business? And I'm like, my business is
bit of
pleasure.
both.
You know, like my business is sex or comedy. Like those two things are both fun. Never ever do I'm like, gotta go to work today. You know, I'm like, well, I gotta go have sex
Yeah.
with Dorian and Cassie today. That'll be fun. It's gonna be a good day,
That's
you
the
know?
that's
Like,
the
well.
punch. You're not like, oh, I need to go to work.
yeah.
No, I won't. to go to work.
Yes.
Well, but I think that there's also the difference between the people that are really successful because they treat it as it's
Yeah.
work. You have to be organized. You
Yeah.
have to. You're an entrepreneur in
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
ways,
yeah, that's
and
true.
so that's not often what people consider the porn or the adult film industry to
Yeah.
be. But that's exactly what I've seen to be the difference between those that are very successful
Yeah.
and a bunch of my friends and colleagues
Yeah.
that are very successful and those that aren't. It's treating it like I have meetings, I have a
Yes.
job,
Yeah.
I have to prep, I have to do all the logistics, I
Oh,
have
yeah.
to deal with all that stuff. And that's not what we think about
I
when
need
we're
to keep
talking
my,
about the fun.
my body in shape.
I
need
was
to
gonna
keep
say,
my face
yeah.
in
Of course.
shape,
The
and
behind
that
the
take
scenes
a lot
stuff.
of time and a lot
It
of
take a
money.
lot of time,
It's
a
like
lot.
when people. I saw a lot of people like in Spain too a lot. I want to own a bar or to own a nightclub. Yeah, because I love night industry. I love to do party, but it's not that.
No,
It's
of course
not,
not.
of course.
Don't be
Yeah.
like that. You need to be a real businessman with a
Yeah.
routine, like to be boring.
Yeah. Well, my best friend and
She
I,
want to do that.
we got into the industry at this. Well, she got in about a week before I did. It was her plan, and I just kind of tagged along. But she got in with the pure expectation of like, I just love dick. I'm just gonna fuck. That's all I want to do.
That's a good part.
She lasted 6 months. You know,
it's hard. Like when
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
arrive on set and you have to
Yeah,
keep the
yeah.
position and actually open to the camera.
Yeah.
Then sometimes, I mean, you want to because the guy is hot and
Right.
it's a great moment. But sometimes you don't have pleasure and it's
Yeah.
clearly just a mechanic. And it's I won't say it's a hard job. But it's not an easy one either. It's
No,
it's
it's
a
not
real
an easy
job. There is
one.
a team
But
behind.
if you want to, if you want to keep the pleasure of the job, when you think you're on set on a professional set, and the guy is hot, you want to have sex with him, but the production is boring.
yes,
If you want to keep the job really well.
I fuck
You,
him
you
after.
take
Yeah.
exactly.
Or in between.
Yes.
Or after, just if you
Just in the
even if
middle.
you're tired,
Yeah.
you just take his phone number
Yeah.
and have a party after.
I always
We
tell
do that.
people, yeah. I always say the best sex that I have on set is when the director yells cut and he and I can just have sex for a second.
yeah,
and then he's
yeah.
like, all right, you guys done? We got a movie to make. All right, ready and action. And then I'm
Yes.
like, oh, yeah.
What was the
Yeah,
intensity
you're in action
again?
since 10 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
The best sex is when the director yells cut. All right, let's fuck.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah.
I have good sex sometimes on camera. Like very
Very-
good sex.
Well, I agree, but don't you feel like that's when you're making your own stuff?
No,
Yeah,
definitely.
No?
No.
It's when you go shoot for a big company.
Like no, when I do my stuff, I have like my natural pleasure, but it
Right.
also happened to me to have like great
Yeah,
pleasure
great
on
sound
set.
sex.
Yeah.
Me
Even
too,
professional
yeah.
set.
Yeah.
Sometimes you fall on a production that would just tell you, don't mind me.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Just do your stuff.
Enjoy the moment, guys.
And
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I have a check at the end.
Yeah.
I come and I have a check.
Yeah.
What's up?
That's
Okay,
why I tell
alright.
people, I'm like, it's the greatest.
So
Yeah.
tell you what type of position you need to be in, or to give you an idea.
Yeah.
But I mean, after you're just free to do whatever you want.
Yeah. But a thing that I think we should mention is what we talked about briefly on the break too, is a lot of people don't realize after pornography, there's not a lot of options.
Absolutely
There's not a
not.
lot of
It's hard.
professional options of people that are willing to take you seriously any
It's hard.
longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think getting into the porn industry, that is something you absolutely have to keep in mind is once you make that first movie and it is out there, it is really
It's over
hard.
for you. It's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Like I had a member of my family that approached me and asked me recently, like, I want to be a porn star too, but she's a
She's hot.
waitress. She's really hot. But anyway, but I'm also a waitress, and I want to see if it worked before quitting my job. And I told her, "Oh, you won't have to quit. They
Yeah.
will fire you.
Yeah.
The minute
She
they will
work in a
know
French
about
restaurant.
it,
Yeah.
you will be fired. It will be the end of you.
Yeah.
You need to understand that
But
at
in
the
a bar-
minute you do your porn movie, the first porn movie you will do, you never will be aware about it. Your friends will be aware about it.
Oh, for sure.
Your friend's brother will be aware about it. Your
Yeah.
dad friends will
There's
be
been
aware
some-
about it.
there's
There is
been
no
some-
coming back from that.
Yeah.
Recent lawsuits. There was a professor in Italy where he was an adult film star.
That's interesting.
And then he became a university professor later in life.
Oh, that's very interesting.
She's like,
so-
must find him.
And so, but he was let go from his job, and he was able to fight it in court and keep his job. But that's a very big,
Because he was a man. Did I say
a
that?
rarity,
Yeah.
right? And so,
Do you think it was because he was a man?
I 110% think it's
No,
because he is a man.
Okay, I got a friend. She is Russian. She's a French teacher in Moscow. She started porn, and when she would come back in this country after making a lot of money in Prague, they say no, you can't teach French in the
Well, of
in the
course.
Russian university. Why?
Yeah.
Because in Russia, making porn is
Illegal.
illegal.
Yeah.
But in France or in Italy or in Spain, I'm sure, 99% sure, the law don't say that you can't do porn. Like in the French military, you can do something artistic. Artistic means being a writer, being a dancer, being a porn star. So it's not illegal. But there is a case. So I think they will finish it. I'm sure.
I mean, does he still have his job?
he did get to keep his job.
He did get
Whether
to
he's
keep it,
going
yeah.
to continue, who
He,
knows?
he had
Is
a,
he
he had a good lawyer.
Is he hot?
Years
That's
ago.
him? No, it's not.
No.
Oh my God.
That was at his peak.
Look at the look
That
at
was
the,
at his
look
peak
at the
though,
boss
a
gun.
long time ago.
Hi.
No
Hey.
way, Professor. Okay.
Damn.
I mean, he could teach me.
I heard we have
Whatever
some
he wants.
flannel when you teach.
Yeah.
You can do illegal stuff
Yeah,
to her.
okay.
Ah,
Okay.
that's interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, that is interesting.
So you want to go back
That
in the
is-
university, right? Just tell me.
I'll throw in some pigtails for that guy. No, I'm just kidding.
So you know why he kept his job. You know?
It's
Yeah.
hot. Maybe
Yeah.
the judge was a woman.
Yeah, and she's like,
Or
you
again,
can
or
keep
again,
on
or again,
going.
or again, we
Yeah.
say, come on. Oh
Yeah.
no, you will keep your job.
I think we're cutting
Yeah.
most of that, right? We're cutting
I'm
most of
sure.
that.
I'm sure.
Hot.
All right.
Hot.
God,
All
we're
right. Are we? I feel like we've accomplished a lot. So I think what I'm getting out of that and what I always like to put into the world is, yes, it can be an amazing place to be, filled with
Absolutely.
amazing people, amazing opportunities.
It is.
But it's not for everyone, and it's not an end-all, be-all, and there are so many negatives that come along with it that you really have to be prepared for mentally and emotionally,
And
financially.
don't be alone.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
no,
I
when,
mean-
don't be
when I
alone.
see some girls or some guy arrive in the industry alone, like with no family, with nothing, they're really lost.
I
They
re-
lost their
Smart.
minds. They lost everything. Like
I
They lost
arrived
themselves.
with
They
a
lost
best
themselves.
friend and then had a
best
guy
friend,
friend
yeah.
along the way. So
Yeah,
I
best
will
friend.
say that was extremely
you
helpful.
can share everything.
Yeah.
After your set, you can.
Because it is a very competitive industry and nobody's looking to share secrets. That's for sure. I had very
Except
few people
here.
help. Right. But I had very few people help along the way. It's kind of like sink or swim. You make it or you don't, So, and people need to know that as well. It is friendly once you get into it and you've kind of got a name for yourself. Everyone's real friendly. But in the beginning, when you're a newbie, it's not the nicest place to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, yeah.
So we had this chance to arrive in the industry, the both of us.
Yeah.
Together, it was.
Yeah, we could keep each other our head out of the water,
Yeah.
It's very important to have someone to keep you fit on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
important.
like in a TV show, you need the buddy to tell your story of the day
Of course.
Yeah.
in the bar, having fun and having fun of your bad moments sometimes. So
Yeah.
you need the
Because there definitely are bad moments.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Like-
Nice to reflect. You guys have been incredible guests. I am
Thank you.
so very honored that you were able to make time for us today. Thank you for all of your great insight. I think that the viewers will really appreciate having your couple's idea of what the industry is, because so many people always ask the relationship questions in the industry and what's that like and how you maintain something healthy and happy. So thank you guys so very
Thank
much.
you for
being
inviting
with
us.
Pleasure.
Yeah. Look them up. Look up Cassie's anal. There are so many Dr. Daddy Dorians that I've got to watch over here. So, Dr. Eddie, thank you as always. You've been incredible. You guys, that's it for this month. So until next time, guys, adios.